Hello, everyone, and welcome to this intermediate level ESL listening practice. In this activity, you'll experience how language is used in everyday scenarios, just like a native speaker would encounter. However, please note that the stories and situations in this audio are entirely fictional and created solely for English listening practice. Before we dive in, take a moment to pause the video and check out the questions in the description box. These questions will help you focus on key details as you listen. When you're ready, hit play and let's get started. Are you ready? Let's begin.
Hey, I'm Jake, and I want to tell you all about how I built my first gaming PC. It was one of the most exciting and nerve-wracking projects I've ever done. It all started when I realized my old computer couldn't handle the latest games anymore. The frame rates were terrible, and the graphics looked awful. So, I decided to build my own PC. At first, I didn't know much about computers, but I started watching YouTube videos and reading guides online. I learned about all the different parts you need, like the processor, graphics card, motherboard, RAM, and power supply. The first step was setting a budget. Gaming PCs can get super expensive if you're not careful, so I had to plan carefully. After that, I made a list of parts I needed and started comparing prices. Black Friday deals helped me save a lot of money on some components. Once all the parts arrived, I was both excited and nervous. I laid everything out on the table and made sure I had all the tools I needed, like a screwdriver and some thermal paste for the processor. Assembling the PC wasn't easy. It felt like solving a puzzle. I had to figure out where each part went, like connecting the cables and securing the graphics card to the motherboard. The trickiest part was installing the processor. It's really delicate, and I was scared I might damage it, but I followed the instructions carefully and got it right. When everything was finally in place, I pressed the power button, and nothing happened. I was so frustrated. After a bit of troubleshooting, I realized I hadn't plugged in one of the power cables. Once I fixed that, the PC turned on, and it felt amazing to see it work. Now, I can play all my favorite games with great graphics and smooth frame rates. Building a gaming PC was a huge learning experience, but it was totally worth it. If you're thinking about building one, my advice is do your research, take your time, and don't be afraid to make mistakes.